Hello everyone, welcoming our existing family and the soon to be to our channel Awesomizing Life, the journey or destination. Today I would like to talk about decision making and the factors influencing it the most. Why do we struggle to make decisions? Could anyone make the right choices throughout his life? What should we do when the choices we make go wrong, etc.? I have always believed that stories are the best way to put a point across. So let me start with a short story. The story is about a man lost in the desert and his quest for water. Once, a man got lost in the desert. It had been a few days already and he was out of his supplies, energy, and was clinging on to the last threads of his wits. He had run out of his water supplies 3 days ago and could barely keep on. He was sure of dying if he didn't find some water soon. In his desperation, he had already chased a few mirages as well and was sure of dying if he didn't get some water soon enough. Just then, he saw a small shed at a distance ahead of him. A part of him wanted to dismiss it as yet another mirage or maybe a hallucination. But having no other choice, he moved towards it. As he got closer and realized that it was for real, his hopes went up. The hope of possibility gave him the strength to drag his tired body to the door of the shed quicker than he thought was possible a few minutes back. There was no one in the shed and it seemed to have been deserted for quite some time now. The man entered the shed, clinging onto the hope of finding some water inside. He was delighted at what he saw, a water hand pump. He leapt towards it and started to prime the hand pump vigorously. But nothing came out. There was no water. He kept at it and still nothing happened. Finally, exhausted and frustrated, after many attempts, he gave up. He sat down on the ground, threw his hand up in the despair. It looked as if he was going to die after all. And then the man noticed a bottle in the corner of that shed, filled up and corked up to avoid evaporation. His delight was unparalleled. Hope twinkled in his eyes again. He uncorked the bottle and was about to gulp down the sweet life-giving water when he noticed a piece of paper attached to the bottle. There was a handwritten message on the paper that read, "Instead of drinking it, use the water to prime the pump. And don't forget to fill the bottle once you're done." Now, he had a dilemma. He could ignore it and just drink the water, or he could follow the instruction and pour the water into the pump. What to do? If he follows the instruction and uses the water to prime the pump, what was the guarantee that the pump would work? What if the pump malfunctioned? What if there was a crack in the pipe? What if the underground reservoir had long dried up? But then, maybe the instructions were correct. Should he risk it? If it turned out to be false, he would be throwing away the last water he would ever see. Have you been in a situation like this ever? Where you have to make a tough choice. If you were in the man's shoes, what will you do? Which one will you choose? Well, he had to make a choice and be willing to face the consequences that it brings. Many people don't decide because they're fearful of the consequences. And as a consequence of that, they remain confused all their lives. If you were there, what will you do? Which one will you choose? Well, the man decided to take a leap of faith. He realized that a bottle won't take him much farther. Middle of nowhere that he was needed much more than a bottle of water. He closed his eyes, said his prayers. With his heart beating fast and hands trembling, he poured the water into the pump and started to prime the pump with all the strength he had. After a few seconds of effort, he heard the belly of the pump burp. A little trickle of water started to flow out of its mouth. The trickle turned into a continuous flow before, with a gurgling sound, the gush of water started coming out. He had more water than he could possibly use. He felt exhilarated, for he was going to live. He luxuriated in the cool and refreshing stream, drank to his heart's content, filled up his supplies for the journey ahead. He was all set for the onward journey when he recollected the instruction, went back, filled the bottle and corked it up. But before leaving, he added a statement below the instruction. Believe me, it works. This story is all about life, isn't it, guys? It teaches us that we must give before we can receive abundantly. More importantly, it also teaches that faith plays an important role in giving. The man did not know his action would be rewarded or not, but he proceeded regardless. Without knowing what to expect, he made a leap of faith. Water in this story represents the good things in life. Give life some water to work with, and it will return you far more than you put in. It poses a few questions worth pondering and considering. What would you have done if you were in his shoes? How comfortable are you with taking of risk? Where do you stand when it comes to choose between the instant gratification versus delayed gratification? Whenever posed to make a choice, ask yourself these questions before you give in to the temptation of playing safe. Number one, what am I risking by playing it safe? Number two, what do I stand to gain by taking this risk? What do I stand to lose by not taking this risk? What would I do today if I was going to be really brave? Yes, I agree. Most of us are not going to be confronted with a situation like the man in the story, where the choice made decides whether we live or we die. Yet we do have our own journeys to take, our own choices to make. If the choices we make goes our way, fantastic. We can inspire people by telling them, believe me, it works. If it doesn't go our way, we can still share our mistakes, share our experiences, share our learning, share our understanding, to empower people to make their right choices. So don't be afraid, be brave, make that choice and be the creator of your own destiny. If you like this video, please comment, share and press the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you've not already done so. Until next time, thank you. Tada.